In this section, I'm going to talk about how to get emotional and tell a story with your delivery without it being over the top. And this is where some training and practice comes into play. In order for you to tell a good story through your podcast, you need to practice, record, and listen, and do this over and over again. So, how can you tell a good story and provide a little bit of emotion into the delivery of your message when you're recording a podcast? Here's what I recommend. First of all, if you're talking about something that is, let's use for an example, the differences between cold and hot. If you're talking about something cold, you want to actually feel that cold feeling on your body so that you can transmit that through your voice. I'm feeling very cold right now. And this is how I would deliver that. I'm feeling very cold. Oh, that's hot. Oh, touching that is very hot. It's hot today in South Florida. See the difference? I had a difference in delivery from cold. I'm cold right now. I'm feeling very hot. I feel on fire. I feel like I can achieve anything. That's emotion coming through in the voice. I feel very down today, very low on energy. So I'm not going to be doing a long podcast today. I'm a little sick. I haven't been feeling well. And I want to make sure that I do the podcast, but it's just going to be about 5 to 6 minutes. I'm feeling very hot today. Feeling very exciting. I've got a lot of information to share with you today. Hear the dynamics between cold and hot, sick and excited. That's how you can create some emotion in the delivery of your podcast. So now we get into how do you tell a story. When you tell a story, you have to create the vision of the story in your mind. And then you have to deliver that through your voice. This is where a little bit of voice acting, voice training comes into play. My recommendation is for you to take some acting classes or some voice lessons where you can learn how to deliver your voice and tell that story. Another thing you can do is observe actors as they're doing a public service announcement or speaking into the camera for something very important that they want you to know. Not likely a TV commercial that they're getting paid for. More like something that they're doing for nonprofit. Because they're getting emotional, they're telling a story. And you can learn from these actors and actresses that are delivering that message with empathy and with passion and with compassion and so forth. Telling a story is enabling you to connect with your audience so that your audience can relate to you and continue to be a lifelong listener of your podcast. Without telling a story, then you really have the opportunity to miss a lot of listeners that want to connect with you. On my podcast, Puppy Talk, I tell stories of Dixie all the time. And also my old dog, Spalding, that passed last year, I talk about him all the time. I tell real life stories that happen with my own dog so that I can have people more relatable to me. Here is another clip from my other course, Improve Your Speaking Skills, where I go more in depth about creating emotion and telling a story. In this section, we've talked about the kinesthetic, which is feeling oriented, the auditory, which is sound oriented, and the visual, which is picture or video oriented or sight oriented. Now I'm going to teach you how to effectively communicate with emotion and tell a story with all three personality types. Because when you do a presentation, even if it's for 1 minute or it's for 10 minutes, you want to be able to captivate the audience, tell a story that creates emotion and draws them into you. The best way that I can tell you to do this is to begin speaking about something that you're very passionate about. So I'm a dog trainer, and I'm going to speak to you about dog training. And I'm going to use all of the 3 personality types: kinesthetic, auditory, and visual, during this presentation to give you an idea of how they all 3 can be combined together, and you can create a story with a lot of emotion that captivates your audience and brings them in. Here I go. In 2008, I adopted a lab mix from a rescue group in Alabama where I was living at 3 months old, and he came into my life with no training. He didn't know what to do. He wasn't even potty trained. So I hired a dog trainer. When I hired that dog trainer, within 30 minutes, I was so excited and captivated by what she did because I saw her training this dog. I said to her, I want to do what you do. At the time, I was in the fitness industry, and she said, well, you need 30 years of experience. 30 years? I said, well, I'm going to work on that. But in the meantime, I need to learn how to do dog training because I'm fascinated by how you communicate and how you work with dogs. And I love it. I studied a little bit, but then I got caught up into other things in my life. Food manufacturing business, my personal training business, and I lost track of the dog training vision. However, in 2019, I decided one day, woke up in November of 2019 to be a dog trainer. I decided it was time, and now I'm going to do it. And I can see myself as a dog trainer. I could visualize this. The dream is now coming to life. I am now a dog trainer. I took a course and I learned how to do dog training with a mentor, and I was off and running. Now I've got one of the top dog training businesses in South Florida, and I've got a lot of business. Why do I like dog training so much? Let me tell you. Because when I get a phone call from somebody and they say, my dog needs some help. My dog is not behaving well. He's a little aggressive. He's pulling on a leash. He's jumping a lot. And I just need your help. First thing I do is I calm them down. It's fine. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you and your dog. I would like to set up a consultation so that I can meet you, give you a chance to meet me, and observe the dog's behavior and let you know in person exactly how I can help you. Immediately, the person on the other end of the phone perks up and they come to life. Oh, thank God, I'm so glad I called you. And the reason why I like working with dogs so much is because honestly, I never get called to make a dog more excited. I always get called to bring a dog down into a very calm place. And in the bonus section of this course, I provide a video for you of how to effectively communicate with dogs so the dog can become calm and relaxed. And this is where dogs thrive, when they're centered, balanced, and relaxed. And once I bring this kinesthetic, feeling-oriented voice into the customer's house, into their dog's life, the dog relaxes like butter. And the owner says, wow, how did you do that? And I say, listen to how I'm speaking to your dog. And then they do it, and their dog calms down. This is why I love dog training so much. And this is why I love speaking and the voice and what you can do with your voice so much. Because it's so important with everyday communication, whether you're speaking one-on-one, whether you're speaking in a group, or whether you're speaking to a dog or another animal. It's effective in so many ways. That's the story that I wanted to share. It creates emotion, excitement, enthusiasm, and of course it tells a story. If you find that this video right here is something that you're challenged with, leave a comment down below and I will be sure to respond with some other options of how I can help you with this emotional and storytelling work that I do right here. And in addition, if you have any other questions, contact me using the contact page of this website, and I will be sure to reply within 24 hours.